कृपया ध्यान दीजिए, the language used on the podcast may not be fit for consumption. We warn you, tread carefully. But listen, yaar, don't be so conservative. Oh my God, what a show. A very horrible last few hours for me, thinking about the world, the Chicago shootout, the beheadings back in Rajasthan, all the kinds of polarization that seems to be still happening, and the fact that the monsoons are becoming worse and worse and people are suffering. But above all this, the biggest pain I felt in a long time was yesterday afternoon India time, when a guy called Joe Root and his good friend Mr. Johnny Bairstow, both from Yorkshire, England, beat the living daylights of the Indian bowlers. It was so painful that my mother was crying. I said, what happened? And something hit in your eye. She said, no, Bairstow and Root. And, this is going to happen for some time. These guys are unbelievable. They're batting like machines. I almost thought we should cancel the show as a mark of, 2 minutes silence kind of feeling for Indian cricket. Because we were on top for the entire game. And then the last couple of sessions, they just turned it around with a 270-run partnership. And, everybody is gobsmacked and stunned. It's almost like a death in the family because it just happened out of the blue, out of left field against the run of play. How does this happen? Questions are being asked, fingers are being pointed, but no answers yet. Rahul Dravid has not picked up the phone. I've been trying to call him, but I've just been told to rein in the rant because we have to talk about other things on Cock and Bull and not my personal show on cricket. We have with us the erudite gentleman from the West, Mr. Amit Doshi, finally. Not finally, he was there a few days back. We have Silvery recovering from COVID. He's 6 months now of illness.
Of course,
Going for the world record.
Why less?
A North Korean under the reign of Kim Jong-un has suffered 32 years of bimari, but let's see how far he goes. Abbas couldn't make it and we don't give a damn anyway. Sparsh is our new producer. You'll see him at some point. We need to show him visually from time to time.
Actually, you can put his face on right now because there's nobody sitting. We have an empty chair.
You're invited to sit on Ayushi's chair. Ayushi is running a little late. She will be here soon. We allow her to be late because she's coming from the back and beyond. A reference used for South Bombay these days.
I'd say Vinay and Sparsh have the whole Uddhav Thackeray, Eknath Shinde thing going. Vinay Uddhav and Sparsh is Eknath Shinde, the new one in power.
Who's pulled the rug under the feet of that young, unhappy man. Yeah, that's so sad. And
I would say this though, in this case, Vinay resigned. It's not like Sparsh.
Of course.
Amit, for you, Vinay resigned because that's the end result. And so the formality is he resigned. How it underplayed or played under that, we don't know. Lots of things happened between these two. Vinay was a very happy man relatively 3 weeks ago. And today he's defeated and broken. He just has anxiety attacks all the time. I don't know what happened, but all's fair in love and war and career, so we can't say anything about that. In fact, we were talking offline. Silvery was talking about the fact that they've gone to the Supreme Court. The original Shiv Sena has gone to the. This is going to be great fun. To always figure out who we're talking about.
That was a fun tweet, right? I mean, like that came out that Shiv Sena is suing the Shiv Sena in the Supreme Court because the Shiv Sena government was not the actual Shiv Sena government, but a different Shiv Sena. I think this is funny.
Yeah, it's not just funny, it's real. When real is funny, it's the best funny. And anyway, so Uddhav has gone to the Supreme Court to say that they're not the real Shiv Sena and that whatever's happened has happened and it should not be allowed. I don't know how you can do anything. Politics is pretty fair. They have numbers, people switch sides. You're allowed to switch sides. Nobody says you can't switch sides. So that's the way it is.
Also, while addressing the Shiv Sena in like an assembly, Uddhav said, and I quote, Shinde, to whom I had given the responsibility of the entire party, has backstabbed me, while the NCP and Congress has remained with us. It is painful to see that those MLAs and ministers who won due to being Sena workers have now got everything themselves and have left me.
That's also insulting the Congress. They've stayed with us. We don't care.
Who cares?
That's unnecessary. But you're quoting him in English. He doesn't speak it. So in Marathi, the actual translation may be related. Only speech to farak to hoga kam se kam.
There was also an actual, the original backstabbing also happened, right? Again,
you mean the formation of the government in the first place? But it was built on intrigue and deceit. You're right, very well put. So how can they complain? But about that, how can anybody complain?
Guys, Ayushi is here, so I'll be taking your leave for today. I'll join some other day. Thank you, Cyrus, for having me.
How do we put it politely in the words of Bernard Shaw? Fuck off.
Thank you, Cyrus.
Ayushi, come. He wasn't taking your place. We were just, we'll have this conversation when we're not live. She wants to discuss the weather. Thank you, Ayushi. come, sit down. We're in the middle of a very political sort of discourse over the shenanigans in the Maharashtra government that have been going on.
Oh my
pain
God.
Mr. Uddhav Thackeray. Nobody can understand why he's feeling pain because, as Amit pointed out, they they pulled the rug under the BJP
precedent
to form the
But
government.
isn't this a tit for tat
It's
situation?
the same thing played out again. It's almost like karma, isn't it?
No, you can't feel bad.
No, I'm not feeling bad. I'm just saying they were.
Not you, him.
Yeah, that's what. But
I doubt you feel
Yeah.
bad.
No, I don't feel bad. He was very upset. He was watching.
He
Umrao
feels bad
Khan
about the
and-
VIP traffic in front of his house now, which is increased.
Oh,
right?
it's worse.
That's what you're saying?
You know, it's worse now for our part of the world because this Mr. Shinde, our new chief minister, who I love and whose posters in my house, obviously because I love him. Well, he has a house right outside WA Club where
Is
when
it?
he was holding a berth in the ministry. They gave him that house, the one right outside the
Oh,
club
okay,
as you
okay,
enter the
okay.
lane.
Yeah. That's his.
Yeah, that's his. So he still got that. And because they are worried about the original Shiv Sena attacking the new Shiv Sena, while that's playing out, they've got police and commandos and all outside there. So they're sitting on chairs on the main road. As you enter
On the
lane.
main road?
Yeah. Except when it rains, then the chairs are left and
No,
they go
no,
in.
no,
That's
no.
typical of the police presence in
Of
Bombay.
course.
The moment it rains, all the paraphernalia is kept there. So that it continues to disturb traffic, but they go into safety.
Your sense of like integrity and loyalty is only as long as the weather is good.
Yeah, but they can save him while it's sunny, and otherwise
In the rain, he's lost.
give Mr. Shinde an air pistol and say, "Boss, aim, fire if somebody attacks you."
It's on you.
Yeah, but they are threats, by the way. And they play out for some
100%.
time.
Listen, we're
course.
not. It is still the Shiv Sena on both sides.
But
As
they've
we
forgotten
discussed.
how to be the Shiv Sena. So Shinde is reviving the spirit of the original Wankade pitch digging Shiv Sena. It's trying to bring back the principles on which it was built. Maro sab log ko and all that. What happened to that beautiful?
No,
peaceful,
but I'm
harmonious
sure there are
sentiment?
threats to him as well because it is the Shiv Sena at the end of the day, right? I mean, like all the nice polish on it and all of that, but you can only polish.
No, the threats are on Shinde only.
Yeah.
Because the original, as we keep saying, we have to keep saying,
Yeah.
the
So
OGs.
how are we distinguishing between is it like 0.0, is it iPhone 6 versus the 7? Like
something-
what
you're
is
right.
what is the
It's a
situation?
huge problem also for the allies because they can't
Like where
remember.
do you exactly
And
who are you
actually,
supposed
original,
to be
what
with?
is original, right? Is the original the family? Is it the dynasty original or is original
No,
the
those are the
attitude?
creators. Original as in the original block of people which included Mr. Shinde. And now he broke away, so he is no longer original. He's Nuwa.
No, but the
Nuwa
question
Shiv
is
Sena. Use a Marathi phrase.
what is
Okay.
original though, right? Is original come from the family or does original come
Well,
from the attitude?
They did create it. So
But he's got the attitude,
Oh,
right? He's
that's-
got
that's
the
a good
original
point.
But I
attitude.
guess that's what he's been arguing so far is that I actually have the original
the
attitude.
blood in my veins is real Shiv Sena,
Yeah.
and these are not real Shiv Sena.
Exactly.
Yeah, because they've gone NCP
Not
and
enough
all
bigotry.
of that
Because
stuff.
they are driving.
Yes, exactly.
They're driving Pajeros, which is not a Shiv Sena vehicle, as far as I know.
Which-
or
what's-
as we say in Marathi, Pajero.
What's the Sena vehicle?
It used to be the BST bus because they were for the locals. Now what happened? Now sabke paas
Wow.
badi gaadi hai. What's going on? Selling out, bro.
So do you think it's coming down to then is it either Maharashtra first or Hindutva first? Basically, is that what is happening?
It is.
No, it's
Hindutva got
Maharashtra.
lost in all this. a
I
little
think
bit.
yeah, like this is Maharashtra first. When
It's not
Fadnavis,
Maharashtra first. It's me first.
Hindutva.
Yeah.
me is Maharashtra, only na me.
It's me too political version. Me, mala. me, Marathi, me, mala.
Same thing.
Very good.
But I don't know what you all have covered so far. But this floor
Nothing.
test that they're doing now, what the Supreme Court said again on the 11th, they'll hear Uddhav's plea about about the validity of that speaker calling for the dismissal of those MLAs. And all. What is the point? So even if
all
suppose it
nonsense.
goes in his favor, suppose by some
Why should it go in his favor?
It
I
won't.
don't know. What if they're like,
at this
yeah,
point.
that ruling stands. They should have been dismissed, so they couldn't have voted then. Like, I mean, if he goes
In
down that
politics,
route.
you can change your mind on who you're supporting in like 5 minutes. What is there's no.
No, but then why are they even hearing the plea on the 11th?
There is an anti-defection law, right, which does have some
Yeah.
parameters.
What is this anti-defection law?
It's a bullshit
Everybody
law.
defects all the time.
It's
It
a
must be
bullshit
there
law.
on paper.
I don't even think it's called defection now. It's just called.
This is not a defection.
It's
He-
power.
Shinde is
It's
saying it's not a
politics,
defection.
yeah.
As you rightly pointed out, he's saying we are the original sort
We are
of
the
vein
right-
here,
yeah.
and so I'm just going back to the Vedas sort of thing, and that's what we're going to do.
But do you think Uddhav should have put up a little bit more of a fight, or do you think the way he kind of?
I think he's a little touchy. You're right, and he got a little upset. And yeah, instead of
I-
holding his
I
ground.
don't-
First
very
of all,
personally.
he has
But
to
what could he
fire
do?
that
I-
fucking
yeah.
The numbers are
Sanjay,
40
man.
plus X.
Yeah.
The numbers are in favor
I
of
don't
BJP.
think he had options, right?
It's not about the options. It's all the. I'm saying attitude.
No,
Like,
he had one option.
So
he has the
you're-
key to Varsha. He can lock
How
everything and run
actually-
off. So they can't.
How surprised do you think he was actually caught? Like, you think he was really caught unawares of this? He had no idea this was going to be happening?
No. Of course, in the beginning, the word must have got out from the Shinde camp about whatever, so that he wants to be. Because if he could have been assuaged by Uddhav stepping down and giving him the. If you remember the early days, he would have given Shinde chief ministership, and this whole thing would have ended, and he may have stayed with the original alliance. As you know, they don't really care about who they're with. It's about what they get out of it. I mean, is that clear now?
It's just it's a grab for power at the end of the day. I mean, like Fadnavis also.
He was fabulous. Fadnavis is saying we are ED. Eknath and Devendra. ED.
ED.
For ED.
It is so. It's like one of those like sad laughs where you're just like oh, it's the end of everything.
No, but in a way, they will think. I mean, they will really enjoy this one because they were gobsmacked themselves when the rug was pulled out under their feet in the beginning.
That they did not see coming.
They didn't see that coming. So they're so happy to play it out in the same way that from within the ranks of the Shiv Sena.
The next morning, the posters were up, and I was like, "Who is your printer?" Because my guy doesn't give me anything as fast as you are. You've covered the city. You've covered it with these two faces. So, like, what's the... I don't know.
And you can't ask for more distinguished faces as faces go. Let's say personal sparsh.
I did, however, read like Shinde's story. Like, obviously, since he's suddenly come up. And I don't know. At some level, you kind of respect the person because you're like...
It's called humanizing the situation.
Yeah.
The dude will cuss up as well. So
also, because he's now in power, they will build him up, right? They will
build him up, the humane factor and the tragedies
all the cool stories.
Not to say that they aren't tragic things. I won't discuss them here. But
But you can do that with anyone, is what I'm saying.
The backstory is never the point.
It's not the backstory.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. It's not that backstory. I'm saying it's a story
to... I mean, the guy is just an Indian politician.
Exactly.
He's not that bad. As far as politicians go.
Yet. But I'm saying in terms of selling him also, he's the right person to sell as a Sainik. Because he has that whole community ground up, whereas these two have been sitting, painting Wall-E for the last 3 years. So it's like...
Well done, Ayushi.
I mean, enough, man. Now.
Stop painting Wall-E. Do something for society. No more posters and painting. We know you all can do posters.
We know
and painting.
It's done so well. Leave that to the civilians.
Really?
We enjoy that.
Do you guys have any sympathy though for say Uddhav and Aditya Thackeray?
Are you fucked? How dare you have any sympathy for any of them? Have sympathy for us.
Yeah, and also
I know, yes, of course.
None of them. Why would you?
If you want to look at it clinically and not get into the emotions of whose side and who did right or wrong, I'm saying from a chessboard situation, Uddhav had a chance to rectify the situation.
Yeah.
But you got to figure out, if you're a great politician, you have to figure out when you have to bend with the breeze. And he could have done
Make
that.
them an offer they can't refuse. Yeah.
Exactly. He had to find some compromise.
Stay in the government and then figure your way out.
The moment you lose power, you lose.
You're
That's what
out
it's all about.
now. You know how long it's going to take them to come back? Then if.
So where Sharad Pawar is as an astute politician, where Uddhav is as an astute politician, from clinical point of view, I think it is a chalk and cheese at the moment. Because with nothing, he was able to engineer a government, bring down the BJP, and this guy on the other hand was not able to hold his government, which he could have if he had reined in his emotions and ego in the whole thing. Of course, it's a terrible thing to step down from chief ministership, but I'm just thinking, he still would be in power.
I honestly, I don't know that that's the case, right? I just feel like a lot of this stuff is inevitable in some ways. There are forces at play that are so
but you got to give it a
invisible.
better fight, as Ayushi said. It looks like the fight wasn't good.
You don't even look like you wanted it then, when the way that you said it. And I watched the speech and I don't know.
Folded too quickly.
I think so. And I kind of expected that maybe
as cricket lovers, we were just disappointed. We wanted our two teams to clash.
You want a chief minister who wants to be chief minister.
Yeah,
I want to put it that way. You want this state that bad, and by God, this state is a state to want and have, because they loot us. Every project is like 5 crores in your pocket. We know that.
Metro's going to come soon, 2030 now. They've guaranteed.
So I mean, I don't know. You just kind of you wanted more from them.
He should have put up more of a fight. There's no question about that.
And you're a Shiv Sainik. You guys love riots. It's your thing.
No, but actually, if you look at it from a psychiatric evaluation point of view, no, I just think that he folded because of emotions, which means you're weak. You can't be too emotional.
No. I think he folded because he knew that he wasn't going to pass the protest.
Finally, he had to. Finally, he had to.
I think,
but even before that, he didn't make the right noise or do the right.
Okay,
in the back channels, more work should have been done.
Go down with your ship.
Yeah.
But see, it's all performative at the end of the day, right? What you're saying, also go down with your ship or make a bigger fight or what have you, right? The reason why this stuff happened, once Eknath Shinde decided that this is going to happen and he got the right people and he had the invisible backing behind him of getting the right people.
Out of 40 buggers, you can lure 16 back and all. It's not over. There are many other options there. You can lure BJP guys onto your side. Oh, there's got to be more. It's sounding ridiculous, but I'm saying there must be some way.
I would also say this, right? That at some point...
He wasn't aggressive enough in the fight back. He seemed to be feeling pain and hurt, like my family has been insulted and this and that. He was going in the wrong space.
I feel like that was also performative. That, how dare you go against Bala Sahib's...
and I know...
brought up to
but I think it was the same problem that what Congress keeps harping on, which is... And the reason they're losing ground is the family. And I think people are not realizing that no matter what the current government does, like people are
or doesn't do. It's a case of doesn't do in India.
But are very disillusioned by dynastic politics, because we've been now fed this message for the last 8 years that it is the reason for everything wrong. Whether that's true or not, I'm not getting into that. But I'm saying don't play that harp here. It's not going to work.
I've been saying this for the last week. By default, he's almost in the right because he's standing up against the nepotism and all this, So by default, we should be saying, wow, we've got a Caesar, we've got a great leader now.
Which is the insane part, is that like when you start looking at everything, kind of you are able to rationalize. After a point in politics, you're like, actually, but he also did this. He also did that.
But it's all rationalizable because they are all...
We're under their thumb, so we have to rationalize that to feel better about ourselves. And we've accepted them because they aren't that bad.
But you have to see, I don't know how active you guys are on Twitter. You're not, I know. But the rhetoric generally when you're just scrolling through was just absolute joy. Absolute. Now we take back Bala Sahib's party. Now we take back Vanar Sena's party.
It's because those people are more active.
But there's no doubt.
Only because those people are more active. I think.
Yeah. But they like very much a thing of yes. But this is us reclaiming our whatever
it's a tough
sense
one
of self.
He doesn't have the charisma of his father, whether you like it or not.
He doesn't.
Okay, he seems to be a nice guy in some way and all that, and he seems in the pandemic he seemed to be very conservative, but his heart was in the right place more or less.
Honestly, effective. Because during the pandemic, communication was the number one thing that needed to happen. He was one of the few people who was doing it well and regularly.
And he allowed smart people to make the decisions. He wasn't like, I'm going to do everything
like Shinde.
But he allowed the government to open up and be like, okay, the BMC needs to be run by this person because they know best.
He was inclusive. He appeared to be inclusive.
Yeah.
You had the BMC guy, his name, they changed the guy, the new guy comes in.
And look, I'm sure everyone made some cut out every single jumbo center that was made.
Come on, this is India for God's sake.
Yeah, no one's clean, but he was, he was decent.
Medical supplies had to pay for coming in. Come on. I don't care if you're dying. 10% commission. That's the rule. Yeah.
Cough it up. Oh, I'm going to hell. I'm actually going to hell.
Let's go from Maharashtra government to talk about the
Silvery,
national government.
Excuse yourself, and if you don't mind, go offline because now we have another comedian. We don't need extras.
Cool. No worries. So talking about the central government, Twitter is finally standing up for itself. So we know for the last few years, the central government has been sending Twitter notices about putting down accounts which they feel are critical of the government. So like people who've been talking about the Shaheen Bagh thing first, then the farmers protest, then all these other things that have come about, like the Nupur Sharma thing, then how the COVID response has been. Now Twitter finally is standing up for itself, where it is appealing these court orders because it just got a new set of orders by the government to take down all these accounts. So Twitter's not standing up saying, no, this is against our rights as a company.
What you're saying, again, it makes a lot of sense because at the end of the day, if someone's bullying you, you don't stand up to the bully. That's just not going to change. So they must have tried to appease, find compromise, and then realize that this is not fair. We open our mouth and this, at some point you got to say, boss, come on. It's so one-sided. But when you say standing up, what are they doing? As in?
They are basically they're in court. They're challenging it in court. They're challenging the legality of those orders.
For judicial review on tweets which are being asked to be pulled down.
Oh.
And
more work for our judges.
Exactly. So it's a
per tweet.
They've not worked so much as they have in the last 5 years. They
he goes home.
Nobody has been
Sharma goes home and he has to get onto his phone because he's review the tweets. There's no end.
What's interesting here is that the review that's occurring is occurring for tweets which are being asked to be pulled down, and but so many things are being pulled down just generally.
But we discussed this also, Amit. What do you mean by pull down? Because when you go to one side's offense, then you go to the other side's offense immediately.
Exactly. That's part of Twitter's appeal.
That is part of the appeal.
We can only make fun of Abbas. That's all. That's nothing else. Oh, I didn't mean anything more than that.
I think you meant exactly what you said.
I meant Abbas because he's not here.
I was going to say, on which level would you like to make fun of Abbas?
Okay. You guys are disgusting. That's ridiculous. Yeah. Abbas knows that if he goes, I go. We're in the same boat. Yeah.
No, but what is to be? How is this to be like this, right? I mean, like the fact that a Supreme Court judicial review is required on what tweet should be banned or not banned. This is not something that can happen over and over again, right? You can't take every tweet to the Supreme Court. There has to be a body.
For and against Kangana alone we'll need a separate court system.
You need a bench. You have to put up a new bench.
This is the court of Kangana. We are separate from the appellate system. Just come to us. Oof, ouch.
So,
but at least they've decided to stand.
No, but the part of the problem is that the way our laws are designed are so nuts, right? I mean, like the fact that
get
this
buried
is,
in the paperwork and there's no question.
Yeah, the process is the punishment.
What about us? Nice. What about the podcast? If somebody takes offense, since we're not very clear where we stand, how do we?
I've been doing a lot of work on this recently. Yeah. There is a new rule called the DGCPC, which has come out and under which we fall. And so we now have, I don't know if I should mention this on this podcast, but we have like this tiny little link somewhere on our website, which allows people to send us grievance notices that I have a grievance against your podcast. And then once they send that grievance notice...
Don't tell these people.
This show's only about grievance. Firstly, my angst about
I was about to say, this is
then
your
the people
grievance.
listening always angry and pointing out the incorrect information and things that we say and do. So, I mean, forget taking offense. So we've got it there in really minute detail for half a second.
It's there. It's visible somewhere on the website. If you search for it really hard.
Yeah, it's one of those things.
That's great, superb.
So,
as long as we've covered our back.
Amit, before this, I think surrogate marketing you could do in the podcast industry in India because there were not rules defined against it, right?
Excuse me, what is surrogate marketing?
Kingfisher water.
So like when you Kingfisher water. Yeah,
got it. Thank you.
Yeah. So basically, but now I think they've come up with some new guidelines about surrogate marketing. But they're saying is surrogate marketing not allowed. Completely not allowed.
So everywhere. It's
how do you know it's surrogate marketing?
No, and it's also so it's
how
not
do you know
that
for sure? Like if I'm wearing a shirt which says Kingfisher water, that's just my shirt. You know?
I like the water. I like.
It's not that cut and dry either, right? Because again, the way surrogate there's a very clear definition of what surrogate marketing is over there, but it also on the next line undermines that line by saying that this does not apply to real products. So so I mean, like if Bacardi,
so we are not a real product, so we're off the hook, guys.
No, Bacardi not a real product. This is on shaky
ground. We're not even a product.
It's barely a show.
It's safe.
But if Bacardi is selling a CD, right, is that is still a real product? So it doesn't apply to a real product.
Just to be on the safe side, can we have like a high court bench judge on our podcast or give him one? That way we'll all be okay.
Do you think he wants to come on?
Why not? Everybody wants to communicate.
Do you really want the answers to these questions? It all exists in this nice vague space where nobody knows exactly what is what.
Culpable deniability.
Exactly.
Hey, come on. I'm saying open the tribe. The tribe should be so inclusive that everybody's there. We have politicians doing podcasts.
But that would be cool.
We have police officers. We have BMC officials.
You should get a judge.
Yeah, we should have a judge. We should have a general.
And just ask all our questions.
We should have a Pakistani. Everybody should be here. Yeah.
What can we do? What can't we?
Yeah. Well, like we're just an open platform where just basically that's which we are actually supposed to be somewhat. Yeah.
Open source.
Yeah.
We're not open source. We're available everywhere.
Available everywhere. Yeah. Open source and non-payable information.
It is copyrighted. It's not open source.
It's copyrighted. Yes. Sorry.
Yeah. Anyway, Silvery, that was a fantastic topic. Thanks. I can't remember what it was, but surely there's another one.
Sure.
I'm so impressed. I don't even want to say how well we're doing today. This is amazing.
All right. Up next is a story from Bangalore where a person...
He always sets the stories with the geography.
With the location.
Yeah. Without geography, it's like Silvery's mind is all about...
So now we know. You know, he's taken us to Karnataka. He's like, now we go south.
And Ayushi, once he starts not understanding the words, like some village hamlet somewhere in Madhya Pradesh, then you know because he's going like Gazar, Gazuri, and then 15 minutes is the geography. Come on, Silvery. Somewhere in Bangalore.
Yes. A Bangalore man has basically figured out a cool way to hand in his resumes to startups in and around Bangalore.
Oh, yeah.
Basically, what he's done is dressed up as a Zomato delivery guy, and he's shown up with a box of pastries with his resume inside the box of pastries. There are pastries also, but his basic thing is that most of the resumes end up in trash, but mine will end up in your belly. Okay. And so people have been impressed and people have been saying, oh, this is like a cool way to go about this. And Zomato themselves.
He's got their notice. You know, the notice happens.
He's
People
got
know
the
who you are.
attention, yeah.
But I wouldn't hire a guy just because he was interesting enough to give me cake. I mean,
It depends on what role it is, right?
Give
If
him a
he's a
six-figure
marketing guy, I think I might hire him because that's a good marketing
that's a
idea.
good, he has ideas.
Yeah, but I don't.
He's
But if
know
you
that.
look
the
at
job
the
of a-
resume and he's been sacked from 3 MNCs in the last 6 months.
That's all different.
You got to figure. Yeah.
He's looking for the job of a management trainee. That's what he wants.
Oh, that he should get.
That he should get.
That he's overqualified.
Well
He's
done.
too
That he
good.
could, He didn't have to do this. He could have just had a resume regular
He
style.
could be the number 2 to Amit in IVM today. Let's be honest. Today. Tell him just one pastry and walk in. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So Zomato also had a response to this. They basically found out that this person was doing this, and
they sent him something.
sorry, let me just. Yeah,
Take
this
your time.
page is not opening. Okay, yeah.
Don't open
sorry,
the page.
this,
So you didn't
it
read
was
the
open and it
article
crashed.
before.
No, he just remembers
No, I
the
did.
cities.
I did.
The city
It's
is
just
clear.
the-
After that, it's
The
Then
app
stop
crashed. My
reading.
browser app crashed.
yeah. You don't turn
okay,
up.
fuck it.
You
I'll just-
pretend to be sick. And now your browser crashes in the middle of the. If you didn't start it, it would be fine. But in the middle of it, for God's
I
sake.
got 20
So
tabs open.
was Zomato okay with it, or they were
Abbas
pissed off?
Zomato was okay with it.
started sledging.
Basically
Oh,
okay.
a man in Bangalore, and so he went there and Silvery.
Hey, by the way, Sylvie, what's
Yeah,
this thing
Zomato said-
about? Okay, finish.
Zomato
No,
said,
no,
"Hey-
you finish.
Hey, Aman.
Give him more
hope you're-
time.
He said, "Hey, Aman, hope your Aman Khandelwal is the man's name.
No,
hey, Aman, hope
enough.
your gig landed. Listen, no. Hope your gig landed you something meaningful. The idea was great. Execution, top of the line. Impersonation, not so cool. Saying don't impersonate our drivers." This is what Zomato.
Okay.
Oh
Fair.
wow! Like now they're going to take offense. Cancel
whole
culture
year.
is worse. Zomato
Yeah.
driver and delivery boy offended.
They're cancelling their own delivery person.
What does it take to impersonate a Zomato delivery driver? Like a T-shirt?
Yeah.
That's it.
That's
right?
it.
No, but he
That's
thinks
it, yeah.
this is like a war against India's founding fathers or something. You know, I mean, how can you do this? Zomato's name has been spoiled because delivery boy has been impersonated. I for God's sake, this guy should be fined. This is the head of Zomato.
Zomato doesn't want its merch to sell.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally. If anything, Zomato should have
The
made this
opposite
a
of us.
PR like miracle by hiring the guy.
I think the problem, they're overemployed in terms of delivery boys, so they don't want an extra one. That's kind of
Like, we can't
bad
take
and cheat ki baat
We
hai.
can't take it.
Yeah.
Delivery
One
boys
more
are
and
not
they
employees, they are
unionize.
contractors.
Okay.
Oh, are they?
Finally
That's what
put.
that's
so
what
no
they put it,
liability.
no?
No
Ah,
liability
no
to the proprietor.
liability.
Remember?
No,
You
correct.
guys know better than this.
We don't do contract because you can't. Then you have no way of
MTV
taking.
was bizarre. I couldn't
risk
understand
is
the
too
maths.
high.
Because back in the day in MTV, they suddenly did new thing. 40 employees or 50 employees was the number allowed by the MNC. But then we had about 150 freelance. It would make more sense to have 70 employees doing all that work and permanently employed than having 150 in terms of maths. If you look at the balance
No,
sheet.
yeah, exactly.
But they wouldn't. That's the way.
There are reasons to have contractors over employees. You don't have to pay PF. You don't have to
Yeah,
do.
but how much is it at the end of the day?
It becomes quite a bit, man. All these obligations for an employee become high, which is not there. Also, hiring and firing becomes different for employees versus contractors.
A short-term
right? So,
contract is no
Yeah.
hiring or firing. It ends. But what about Silvery? What is he?
he's
Fired.
an employee.
Employee.
He is an employee.
By the way, our studio is breaking down in laughter every time Ayushi does a Silvery joke. So, I can tell you, you're super popular.
Sometimes they come so easy, and I don't even know why. I have nothing against him.
If there's no malice,
Yeah,
keep going.
it's my
Yeah,
face.
yeah.
It's my
No,
face.
but I did want to ask you something about the comic thing. I don't know whether this is of interest to anyone else. What is this Samay Rehna?
I don't know.
something? What is this?
I've seen it 3 times in the chat.
Samay
I don't
Rehna.
know what it is.
Yeah, everyone
Samay
keeps.
means time, Rehna means stay.
Samay
so
Rehna
stay in
what?
time.
So
I don't know.
Samay Rehna made
No,
some
if you don't know it,
abortion joke or
don't
something like
Google
that.
it now. If you don't know it, don't Google it. Forget it then. Forget it. Next topic. Next topic.
One second, you're the king of comedy and you don't know that some guy called what? Samay
He's
Rehna?
a fairly
I know Samay Rehna.
well-known
Samay Rehna is very
comic.
public.
Yeah, it's just, yeah.
I don't know. It was trending on Twitter, being like he went on some rant. I don't know. I really don't know.
He
I
went on a rant.
I wanted the
I'm not
gossip
aware.
from
Okay,
you.
we have a guy who knows all about it. His name is Sparsh. Can we introduce him into the show?
Sparsh, do you know
Yeah,
what this
here.
is? Okay.
He made a tweet about basically abortion and something like that.
Okay.
A joke about it, and now it has gone like way beyond control.
Oh,
People are
getting-
like completely trolling him. He's like ranking on Twitter right now at 13 probably.
Okay.
That's the thing, and it's mainly because of all the retweets that has happened on his tweet,
Sure.
and many people are like abusing him and all that stuff. And now he's also having fun with it. He's posting Instagram stories of all the retweets and all that
Okay.
stuff. So that's the thing.
All right.
Was it a funny joke though?
Yeah, this-
But so end result is what? Is he going to get shot or not? I mean, if he's going to get shot, we talk about it. If he's not going to get shot, what's the point? Nothing
Yeah,
happens.
I just
I
want to
don't-
know if it's an abortion joke. Is it funny?
I don't know. I'm trying to see if I can find it.
So,
quickly.
in fairness to Samay, it could
We have
well
to
be
stop the
funny.
show to
It's very
find the
funny.
abortion joke. If anybody on the feed knows the joke and just sends it to us, or if this guy Samay,
Okay.
Raina, or Raina.
So this is the joke. परसों मैं आधा घंटा सोच के मेरी गर्लफ्रेंड पे एक फनी ट्वीट लिखा था, उसको पसंद नहीं आया तो उसने डिलीट करवा दिया. कल को जब भी मैं अबॉर्शन करवाने बोलूँ तब मत बोलना my body my choice.
I don't get it.
I don't get it.
Okay.
either.
Okay,
Means I genuinely don't get it as a joke.
it's. Fun.
I'm not offended. I promise.
No, no.
I don't get it.
Yeah, it's also because he's spoken Hindi, so Ayushi you
I
lost
know,
interest.
it's not-
But the
I'm not
third
his
line-
target.
but the third line, Ayushi was
Damn
like,
it.
damn it, French is okay.
Can we
but
Google
what is
translate
this?
the
I
tweet?
was going on.
I don't think the joke particularly lands in that sense, but I think that basically the fact that he made a joke about
Yeah, he
abortion
belittled
is what
abortion.
is-
He just
Yeah.
mentioned
is what
abortion.
people
yeah.
are freaking out about.
Yeah, all right.
Why people are getting freaked
People
out?
freak out over all kinds of things.
As if him saying jack
Hey,
shit is going to
hello,
offend whether you
Ayushi,
get it.
this is not an India problem anymore. So let's not just. This is not
So,
Desi
but then this
issue.
has to be-
It's a
No,
world
this is
issue.
a world
Yes,
issue.
Where every
Aye.
little
There's
thing,
a
I'm not
left
saying
wing
abortion is a
people who
little
are-
thing, but every little thing in the world, people are going to just,
Of
you know, I mean, just, why are we even talking about this?
This is the English language version. He made
Oh, God.
made a single joke. My
See, that's for
girlfriend-
us.
I know.
So what happened is he got so
My
much
girlfriend-
shit. He said, "Let me do it in English."
My girlfriend made me delete my funny tweet, so I guess I can now make her delete her fetus. It's a dumb joke. It's not a very.
That's not
intelligent-
even funny,
It's not
dude.
very funny either.
Yeah.
But it's a joke about a subject which is such, which I
It's
think.
not.
I get
it's
more
not- it's
offended
not
that
it's not it's
he
funny,
thought that was funny.
But it's because it has the chance of being offensive. It's now become a little famous.
Yeah.
So let's cancel him as a comedian and put him up as a documentary maker who's made a point. All right.
Yeah.
So we've changed his status. His Facebook status is now documentary filmmaker.
He's a social commentator, actually.
Social commentator,
You know,
yeah, very good,
that's
very
how
good.
it
Yeah,
goes.
yeah, yeah,
And he
that's
has a niche take
Chess
Yeah.
player.
on a social issue
Yeah, yeah.
about women and their autonomy.
next
Frankly
week-
speaking, he
yeah,
should be
no.
given a bigger
a
platform.
podium. But next week he's doing transgender, so stay tuned. I'm just asking.
No, Cyrus.
Spurs is very, very worried. He's very close to.
There was like no reason to go there, but
Yeah.
Cyrus threw it.
I don't know. I mean, just.
I made a mistake by
on
even
YouTube,
asking this topic. It's just
Yeah.
it keeps coming up here, and then on Twitter
I've
it was
been watching this whole
thing.
feed about these guys who have, Ben Shapiro and gang taking on this whole thing, but there are only two genders, and I don't want to. Amit hates Ben Shapiro, so I don't want to get into that battle.
No, I don't
Actually,
care
the thing
about
is,
Ben Shapiro
sometimes
one way
Ben
or the
Shapiro, if he wanted to represent the right, sometimes the unfortunate thing is that he does it so stupidly. Like, if you were smarter, somehow people would, I don't know, not listen to you or give you credit, but sometimes he says such dumb shit.
Okay,
like,
so Ayushi, here's the
unintelligent.
point. Here's the
Because-
basis of many comedians. I won't call them right wing at all, but this is on this issue. The whole point is that you are what you are at birth. At birth, what were you? So at
Dude,
birth, you're male or
this is
female.
not. Let's
So they
Oh,
go with that.
Cyrus, let it
Cyrus,
go.
They
I'm
go with
out of
that
my
as
depth.
biological. I'm
I
just.
don't
I'm not
know.
taking anyone's side. I'm
let
telling
it
you what
go,
they're
dude.
saying.
This is not a. There's no point to this discussion.
we
Yeah.
don't know.
So their basis is that, and then from there they take it further and say, okay, so what were you when you were born? That's the whole argument throughout.
Well, then,
Yeah.
so, wow, if,
So they're not saying we're against choice. You can choose to be whatever, but you were born a male or female. That's the point.
shall we lean into the
It's a
controversy
gender
then?
versus
No,
sex
let's-
thing. There's no real answer here. There's no right
I
or
blame
wrong.
that Samay Khurana. It's all his fault.
Which one is he?
Raina, Samay Raina.
Samay Raina.
Uh-huh.
whatever his
Khurana.
name is, yeah.
I was like,
Samay
who-
Khurana.
there's another one?
Is
Who
dhande
knows?
mein bada purana.
Obviously, no abortion happened there because we got two now. Okay.
Okay, let's go into.
Do we learn nothing from art?
You learn nothing, Cyrus, every week.
Okay, we apologize.
All right,
Amit says this won't happen again. What are we doing now, bro?
Let's go
It's
into a break and then we come back.
10:33. We wasted time discussing people's tweets and all for 40 minutes. What's going on? This show is really plunging as far as necklines go. We'll come back.
So
in a
normal.
second.
So it's normal.
We ask you
Normal
only
episode.
one thing, guys. Were you born male or female? No, I'm just kidding. I'm
I'm leaving the show.
Amit's 3 hairs are
Yes.
standing. I'm getting very worried. We're taking a break. Here it is. Here
Oh,
it is.
this is bad.
Welcome back, everyone.
Sorry, we're discussing my holiday offline. And in case you heard
That's fine.
anything, I apologize.
So
Yeah.
we have a little announcement, a very interesting announcement for
You're
this
leaving?
Friday's episode.
Oh, okay. Sorry,
yes,
sorry.
this is my last. This coming Friday, we have the author Ruskin Bond coming on, Cyrus says.
Oh.
So that'll be a very
You
cool,
didn't
very
know.
awesome episode.
You did not know.
No, I know, but my
You know-
worry
you know
is
it's
that
coming out.
Ruskin, and I hope he's not listening, has not 3 or 4 times has fallen through for various reasons.
It has been.
Ill health, Wi-Fi issues, squirrel on a tree, those kind of things. So I was just saying, until we nail the episode,
That
or
is
get
true.
close to nailing it, we shouldn't. But we're hoping.
No,
it'll happen.
we are making the announcement so that people can send in their AMA questions.
And to put pressure on
via
Ruskin
mail
to make sure
or
we do
via
the episode.
Insta, yes. Like, ab to aana hi padega, bhai. So yes, please send us your AMA questions via to the
And I
IVM
promise
podcast
you, I'm going to
handle or-
ask him. I hope he does it
on-
to say the iconic line he's famous for. My name is Bond, Ruskin Bond.
Ruskin Bond.
Just got to say that once.
I'm sure he won't be
Of
offended
course,
by that at all.
I'm pretty sure he'll
Yeah,
say
yeah.
it.
I'm
Let's
sure
all-
he said it.
Let's all try
Or
it.
people have said it to him.
Sean Connery meets Javed Akhtar. My name is Bond. Ruskin Bond.
I wonder how many people actually like read Ruskin Bond outside, like the kids
Hey.
who went to like Christian schools.
I would say, I don't know about this generation, but the Ruskin Bond school and college across the urban
Yeah.
plateau.
But I'm saying, I think it was very much because our school library just had so many of them
Yeah.
that you were like, I guess I'll read this, and then you
No,
got
they all
into the
follow
mountains.
some of the same syllabus. Now, so many of these
Yeah,
reads are
okay.
the same across India in the English-speaking
No,
syllabus.
but so they were not
thingy.
compulsory for me at least. I had one Ruskin Bond short story and
That's
one
enough.
poem.
Yeah,
You
but
had
that
one.
got
That's
you
enough.
into it, and then next thing you know, you were.
I
you
read
know,
about. I've not read him that deeply. I've read only
Oh.
two
You
books.
don't have to.
You should. You can revisit our colonial
I know.
roots.
Ruskin,
and,
please
you
still
know,
come on.
empathize
He will
with the
start
white
reading
man.
now.
It's great.
What are you saying? I'm trying to get the guy to come on the show, and you guys are saying, I didn't really read him. I was too busy.
No, not that too busy. It's just it wasn't. I don't know. I don't know why.
Okay, be careful, Amit. Now, I screwed up with the abortion thing
Yeah.
before. Post this, we want Bond on.
No,
need
we
Bond.
absolutely do. I'm also trying to do other things. but-
MI5 is trying their best to make sure that Bond attends.
When are you having Sunny Kaushal on?
Oh, he was very sweet, by the
You
way.
finished?
He was supposed
No,
to
no.
be.
We
it
were
didn't
going to
happen.
record with him. Can I just tell the
Yeah,
truth?
sure.
And unfortunately, he got caught in traffic. And you know me and time. So,
And it's
but he was
Bombay,
really
so
nice.
it's
He said,
very
"I really
nice.
want to do this." You know, and he said the beautiful things that they say to me. I grew up watching you, and you know, uncle.
He called you
We
uncle?
spoke for 5 minutes on the phone. He was very nice because the managers are always scared. They don't even ask these guys because I kept saying if he's running late, just tell him he'll do it another day.
Oh.
So from 11:30, I'm telling the guy, and finally at 12:10. That lady, there was two managers, a man and a woman, because there are two genders, as far as I know. And
Shut up.
Why? Why?
Why?
Why?
it's called prickophobia. Once you're born a prick, you can't stop yourself. That's when
We have that then. We have the phobia.
somebody told me, don't ask Sunny about the brother's wedding. I won't take names.
Key.
I was thinking, you were key to Katrina. And I was thinking, why did you tell me that?
Now
because
you
now
will.
it just festers. Doesn't it, Sylvie? Doesn't it fester
Yeah,
when
exactly,
they do that?
yes.
You're entering a meeting and somebody says,
Because
don't mention.
you probably wouldn't have asked him anyway, and now you're like, damn it, like why can't I ask? Because
No, it's like
an
Naren
interesting
Hero,
topic, I guess it
double
turns out.
MBA, Naren Hero of MTV in the glory days. We went for a Pepsi meeting for a huge 12 shows across North India thingy with them. And he told us, because 4 of us went in, and he said, whatever you just don't mention Coke. That's the only law.
Okay.
I thought it was really funny. And then the guy says, kuch loge? And he says, I'll have a Coke. Just by mistake. This is double MBA, head of marketing. And me and 2 other guys with
I'm impressed that you still wear the T-shirt.
I still wear. I'm a Pepsi loyalist. They paid me a lot of money for 3 years till they sacked
Oh my
me
God.
and went with Amitabh Bachchan, some
Huh,
unknown actor.
Coke or nothing. Pepsi, no thanks.
Really?
Yeah.
Pepsi, bro.
No, man.
Firstly, in India, it just sounds better. If you go to North India, everybody says Pepsi, and you just feel more comfortable.
I don't know.
We've given it our flavor.
There's
But I would
nothing
agree.
like
Coke
iced.
over thumbs up and Pepsi.
Hey guys,
I
stop
would-
all that.
No, thumbs up over everything.
I'm all
No, Coke over both.
If I
Then
was
Campo Cola.
having the non-diet
Thrill?
one, if I was having the sugar one, I would agree with Ayushi. Thumbs up over everything.
Yeah, thumbs up. over
I might
everything.
agree with you also, but that's because we were raised on thumbs up. So I don't know. Sometimes when you're raised on
And
things,
ice thumbs up with that fizz is so strong that it goes straight to your nose.
gotta do
It's
it
kind of
with-
like mustard at
and
some
the
level.
burps used to start.
And the burps, literally,
Yeah.
you're just
Santosh Sagar crushed ice with a thumbs
Oh,
up.
lovely.
That used to be
Such
one
And
of
the
my-
crushed ice of
Money.
Santosh Sagar, unlike the Burger Kings and McDonald's abroad.
What is that?
No, it
It
works.
is.
The
Yes.
way they make it, it still tastes like cola, but if you drink a Burger King cola, whatever, after
It's
1 minute, it's just
diluted.
ice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Water.
the ice just melts very fast. This one
I think-
doesn't. I don't know
I
why.
think they are the cheats, not Indians. We used to think
Never.
Indians are the cheats. We are not the cheats, Sparsh. We are great people, great human beings, and many different
But so
sexes.
you haven't done the episode with Sunny Kaushal yet.
No. Rather, he
No.
didn't. He couldn't make. Actually, he said the
Sad.
thing is showing 7 minutes away, but I've been here for 7 minutes.
No.
And then when I got out, by the way, guys, where we are, SV Road is right outside the gate, and it was like a pond.
It was.
3 hours of rain. I got out and I just looked down. I was like, what
I was
happened?
surprised you were in the studio today. I thought you wouldn't come in.
I've been petrified. Ask Amit. You guys don't know this, but we've had 2 disaster Tuesdays back in the day in the old Agnello house where he and me. I took 4 hours to go back once. He'll remember this.
remember
So I
that.
believe
Oh,
you because
God.
I've been taking an hour and a
Yeah.
half every single day now to
same
go
here.
home.
What time do you leave?
I leave around between
Do what?
6:30 and 7:15.
That's
is
about
when
I leave. So now
And
I
it just
started
takes
leaving
ages.
either before 6 or after 8.
I know. I'd
Notice how
rather not
neither
go
offered to say
home
drive with me. Huh?
and
Immediately. Just Silvery just telling you as an aside.
Okay.
Too complicated to manage.
More importantly,
Right. If I wanted to do
backing
carpools,
the
I'd
car
figure out
off,
the things.
reversing the car quickly is Amit Doshi. But in the meantime, Sparsh has a solution.
Huh.
He just sleeps here. He doesn't
oh,
go
you
home.
live here.
He lives here. He lives in
Yes.
Goregaon. But Goregaon is so far away, Ayushi. How will he go home in the night, na? Poor young boy.
Why are you
Chikna
working
boy
them
like
so
him.
hard that
get
they can't
molested.
go home
I
at a
hope
normal
I'm not
time?
working him so hard.
Yeah. So he's working on some big project.
He was working on a big project, which we just announced. We put the promo out for it yesterday. We
Really?
did-
Hey, what is this thing? This
What is
wall
this?
thing I saw. I
we're
couldn't
doing
click
a,
on it.
A new show with Danish Seth. He was on our show a while
Right,
ago.
right. Yeah.
With called Do What Floats Your Boat. So we're partnering with Boat to do that show. So it
Okay.
should be coming
He
out
was
sometime at the
funny
end of the month.
during COVID. I think
He was.
he made a lot of us
Yeah,
laugh.
very
That
funny.
was
Danish
funny.
has also done some Kannada films which are funny.
He has.
apparently.
He's done a lot of
He-
stuff. He did. He also did your podcast a few years ago.
He did.
Yes.
Both of them did. The brother sister duo.
I don't remember who was the original guest. One of them was supposed to be the guest, and the
They
other one
both
just
came
jumped
on.
in.
Kubra's
Yeah,
also
yeah.
doing very well.
Or maybe
for
Kubra
Kubra was
himself
the
now.
original guest.
Don't remember.
I can't remember. Yeah, okay.
They're both
Okay.
funny.
So Sparsh is on that. So he spends the night here for
He's
that.
been working on the video
Wow.
edits for some.
So
of
here's
that
the
stuff.
difference. For that show, he spends the night, works really hard. For our show, he comes at 10:04. So it's like
You
know,
also came late today.
He came late from the bathroom
That's fine.
because he lives here, just the next door.
Brushing his teeth and all that sometimes.
So do you have any other
Should we
topics?
do one more?
No.
Yes, let's
No,
do one
done?
more topic. Let's
Abbas
do one
is-
more.
Okay,
and
fine.
then
Abbas
go
is
to
sending
anime.
the topics in.
He's saying towny problems now. Abbas is also.
Towny problems. Sending the topics in. Okay.
Oh wow, yeah.
Abbas is
Did not realize,
Abbas is a
yeah.
politician. One house in Bhiwandi, one house in Baikala, one house in Bandra. So he can choose what he wants to be depending.
That's very
I
good.
just
You know, you're
realized
the
this
true
is-
secular guy.
Yeah. He just switches. Just I'll go with this group now. That's
This
it.
is the 1 square meter, 1 square kilometer radius podcast.
Podcast.
Right? You,
Which is rare. Which
yeah,
is rare.
Which is rare. Your house is the center. My house is less than a kilometer. Her house is less than a kilometer.
3 of us, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But then after that, we got no friends.
No, literally.
Ashish in Goregaon.
Literally.
Rishi, how far are you?
Yeah.
Panvel. Oh, you come from Panvel
What?
every day? Every day? Why don't you sleep here? What are you bloody Goregaon? It's a hop and skip away. What's going on?
My
Seriously?
God, we've
The
alienated.
Goregaon kid is sleeping here. The
In one
Panvel boy
sentence.
goes every day and comes on time.
And you two don't come to the
Yeah,
office
yeah.
only.
But no,
Vinay stays in Dombivli. You know, Vinay stays 2 hours away. And,
yeah, but nobody
he
cares
says-
about
Vinay-
Vinay, no?
Vinay's gone now. no?
Because he's gone. No, he's not
just
gone.
left.
Last, I
He's
think
gone
last
tomorrow.
week.
I
He's
think-
not gone.
Yeah,
He's
he's
supposed
still
to be
got a
here.
few days left.
Because
Friday.
see, he keeps saying he's leaving and then he keeps sending those topics. So I get very confused who is working what.
No,
I sent my invoice to Sparsh.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. The handover has been done of the show, but Vinay is still at the company for the last.
But
last
Spurs and
couple of
Vinay
weeks.
so sincere and hardworking, and then before that, look at what we had: Silvery and Abbas. This huge chalk and cheese.
It was
situation.
literally the who's who of what's happening. Like
Yeah.
between the two.
I mean, two producers who don't turn up, don't know whether the show's on,
And they're
and
somehow
don't really-
fighting with each other
all the time.
in all of this. It's
And-
their
and-
show.
And Abbas has become Don Juan on the show, with chicks falling over left, right, and center for him, which
My
makes no
God.
sense. So
Okay.
he comedy to another level.
Yes, sure.
Si-
I really have
Correct.
not been visiting the show enough because I don't know any of this stuff.
So,
Silvery is
yeah,
the Rip
we
Van
can't
Winkle
even-
of Powai. He's just going to be there for 40 years or something, and then one day he'll wake up. Yeah.
Why leave?
Yeah.
Why leave? self-contained power.
Rip,
Let's do one more
Rip
topic.
Van Winkle.
Yeah.
I'm confusing him with Rumpelstiltskin. No,
No,
that's
no.
too.
Rip Van Winkle's
He's
guy
the
goes
one who
into
doesn't
like a
age,
coma
right?
and, yeah,
He
and
doesn't.
then
He's the
no,
non.
he's-
He
so
doesn't
he's
age.
He's
He
asleep
goes
for 20
to-
years or
yeah.
whatever.
Right, and then he wakes up.
And then he wakes up and he's back.
Okay,
Basically,
Alex-
he loses time.
I'll explain.
He
I'll
loses
explain.
time. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like what happened to Uddhav Thackeray on the
Rumpelstiltskin is the
weekend.
guy who lives forever.
Rumpelstiltskin is the guy who steals the princess's child, and then
Yeah.
they
He's
even
the bad
guess my
guy.
name,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
I can
Rip
take
Van
your
Winkle's
kid.
a good guy.
He's a good guy.
But,
right,
but
right, right.
Uddhav Thackeray, same situation. He went to sleep, woke up in the
At the
morning,
wheel,
government's gone.
and the government.
Yeah. You can't be asleep for long.
Lose, you lose.
Literally.
See, the way we see it, it's fair. We can take shots at whoever, then depending on how well you
You know,
performed. It's not about right
Honestly,
or wrong.
that day I came up with a really good term for myself. I was like, I'm an equal opportunity asshole.
Yeah.
Like, I'll shit on all ends
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
spectrum.
So you're looking at loss, failure versus success sort of thingy. So if you fail, then we take a shot at you.
It's
like
about
that.
how competent you are.
Yeah,
it's
that's
not
something
about
like that.
how.
I don't care what
your
color your party
ideology
is.
is, yeah.
Just
But
fix
how do
the
I feel better
fucking
about
road.
myself
Just
if I
be
can't
good,
abuse
yeah.
somebody in the course of the day? It's ridiculous. By the way, I got robbed yesterday. Did I tell you that?
No.
Quickly before we do a topic.
What?
I got
What do you
robbed.
mean? By film
At
fair?
12
You said
at
like
12:44
dignity or
At
something.
12:44, I passed the C-Link and it went green for a second. And then he said, no, you've got low on your thing. So we didn't argue because my wife didn't pick up the
Low
phone.
on your thing, Malam?
On the charge, on the, what's it called?
Oh, on
Tag.
the
Fast
fast tag.
Fast
Okay.
tag.
Yeah.
Okay.
So by the time Aisha picked up the phone and told me it's $440 and that 42 rupees got minus at 12:44.
You had
We
paid.
had passed. We were on the link proper.
Oh, so
Yeah,
you paid twice.
I paid $100 or
100,
something
you
for the
paid the
first one.
$170.
Yeah, whatever for the full rate for that.
No, you have to pay the fine, right?
punishment thingy,
yeah,
yeah.
that's $170.
Yeah, you got to
And-
pay.
Well,
Yeah.
Prakash paid, but the point is that we paid that plus the 42 was deducted. So I got
Oh, wow.
robbed. I got robbed by
You
the
can
government.
definitely. I mean, should you wish to, you can
No, I'm going to
definitely
go to the same
that.
booth at some of the same time and
No,
hope
no,
I
just
get
Not the
same
go-
booth.
stop
That
at the
same
office
thing. That's
outside.
same office, and if you tell them, they do reverse
will-
the
yeah,
charge.
there's
I've
an
had a
office right
problem
there.
before, and they've been very decent about it.
But it's $42 to be reversed. I want that 100 and odd
No,
bucks.
so
No,
you
no,
tell
they'll give
them
you that
You tell
also,
them that.
because
they'll
they'll be
charge
able
you the
to-
42 and they'll give you the 170 back.
Because they'll be able
You
to
think?
check. No, they'll see
Yeah.
on the system what the number is, so they shouldn't
But
have
how did this
charged you.
happen?
Sometimes the machine glitches.
Is it a machine or the guy has a
So
figured out jugaad
no,
make him
no.
shut it after a second and say, boss.
No,
No,
I
no,
think
no,
it's
it's the
the machine that glitches
I
because
would
it
agree.
happens
So you're
sometimes.
saying don't hang the man. Damn it. I already planned we go to the same. Look at me. This is my Parsi jeans. We go at the same time, find the same guy, and I got my camera.
First of all, these are all disguised employment people. Don't shit on them. It's not
damn
their
it.
fault.
But I just hate those guys in uniform who ask you for tickets. No? It's just from childhood. If you have a uniform and they're asking for a parking ticket or whatever, I'm already angry.
It's a waste of labor, but at the same time, we have more
We want
have so many-
structure.
We need jobs.
Of course, at the airport, when you're leaving the
Yeah.
international airport, the fact is that I can press the button and I can take the tag and give the money. But no, there's a guy there who does that transaction
Yeah.
for me.
I
So
had a
One-
huge fight in
one
the
guy.
There's two.
There are two.
I had a big fight at the airport also coming out of the
Sure you did. What was
the
it about?
customs thingy.
Out of
The green
Spain.
channel.
Okay.
Yeah, no, Bombay.
Were you smuggling things?
No, I wasn't. But out of 4 lines, we were the slowest. And why? Because they've written up there hand baggage and X marked baggage.
Yeah,
only,
yeah, yeah.
right?
Did you get X marked?
No, but he just kept putting all the bags in. None of us were X marked. And he actually asked me, put your big bag in. I said, no, you said X mark and hand baggage.
That's fair.
Don't waste my time. So he said, no, but Abu Dhabi se aa gaya hai. So I explained to him, even if we come from Abu Dhabi, we didn't come from Abu Dhabi. Our bags came from Madrid. So please understand, my bag
You're
didn't do anything.
already at the X-ray machine. Why are you wasting time? Just
Yeah.
put the
Because
fucking
it
bag
It is
in
the
there.
principle of it
Exactly.
because
Everybody
you
on the next, our
Well,
3
but
lanes
no,
are going
just
so
get done
fast.
with it, no?
Kunal's waving. Kunal, the fat slob, is waving to us.
But
He's
you're
right in front.
already
My heart was breaking.
you're
Amit. My
already
heart was
at the
breaking.
end of the line. Just put the damn bag inside. Why are you arguing with this guy? It's
Because
gonna
he's
take 10
inefficient,
minutes.
the moron, he's wasting
He is.
time.
I'm not
Because
denying
he
any
does
of
in
that.
fact
And he's not
have
following his
gold
own
in
law.
the bag.
Yeah.
Cyrus has gold in the bag.
Yeah,
You think?
Isn't
Really?
that
I see.
smuggling?
You know me now. I'm the only one who happily wears the shirt because I don't have any. What are you saying?
But it's very impressive that Cyrus, you're not afraid of the police at all. Like I would think 10 times.
not
Like
police,
okay,
customs.
if I say this guy will.
No. Listen, you haven't
my mate
slept.
get
You're already
offended,
irritable.
and, like,
And
do
nothing.
something,
I'm an impatient person. The one thing that's really difficult for me is waiting. So we're the only line not moving. Have you been through that? You're like on a treadmill. Everybody else is walking by you.
No.
It's ridiculous.
It's like that little. It's not Murphy's law, is it? But what is it? It's the other probability.
But Ayushi was grabbing everybody's big bag and
What
putting it
can
in
go
and
wrong will
taking
go wrong.
hours and
That
hours.
is-
But didn't what was that movie Interstellar kind of correct that Murphy's law is not everything that's supposed to go wrong can go wrong. It's Murphy's law is whatever can happen will happen. So actually we've taken it to be a negative
domino
connotation.
effect law thingy, it's not.
Oh yeah,
it's just that specific
it's just,
problem
if
area which
it's
happens.
possible for something to happen, it can happen. So we've just
But
taken it to be the
Murphy's
most
law,
negative.
you localize it to
thing.
Indian conditions, then
Which-
it becomes a domino
Yes.
effect.
So
Yeah.
I think Murphy's law in India is if you're gonna get fucked, you will get fucked.
And
If
more
it's
than that,
possible
more
to
than the
get fucked,
specific
you're gonna-
screwing that you get at the airport, then say the rain destroys the
Yeah,
car,
yeah.
the toll machine doesn't work, it goes on like that, yeah.
And then you're literally like, why did I come back?
And then
Just
when you look
yesterday.
around, it's the same family. Damn. Can you imagine?
But you look like you had a good time. I actually looked at your
Posing.
Instagram.
I didn't put anything on Instagram.
Yes, you did.
Yeah,
Cyrus, I'm gonna admit,
Kunal
I
was
missed
sending
you.
pictures
Kunal,
to Costa.
I didn't carry the
Costa
phone.
did.
Oh.
I never carried the phone. A phone
I've
was in the
been
room.
gone here. I was thinking that you were
Kunal
having
is
a
like an
good
11-year-old.
time
He's
with your
always on the phone
family.
taking pictures, this, that, and the other.
No, but you did. Cyrus, Ayushi's right. You posted those selfie videos of on the side of the road, talking
No,
about
no.
the people walking by and all that.
And then Aisha was trying to hide
Two
her
things
hair.
with
and
his
all.
phone,
Yeah.
which happened just spontaneously.
Okay.
Not like Kunal,
Oh,
who's
okay,
taking
okay.
pictures of every monument like he's in charge of Spanish municipality. इस church का angle गलत है, मैं उसको 45 degrees आगे ही लूंगा. This is that kind of thing
I
happening.
seriously doubt Cyrus knows how to do stories or reels or any of this stuff.
I
He
thought
has to
that
send
joke
this shit
that
to
you-
Costa.
No, I just assumed Kostov told him, okay, shoot something like this. And then
But
Cyrus did it. And sent
You
it
must
to
have come
Kostov
up with
to
some
post, you know?
captions.
No, I didn't even look at it.
So you actually, I laughed so out when I think you put up one of Aisha eating like paella, and you said she eats paella and I have to pay dusra, and I laughed.
Yes,
So
that I
much.
did. That I did. Yeah.
And I showed,
I have to pay.
and I
yeah.
showed
Is
that to
that
my
what-
mom, being like, "This is who I do a show with."
But Silvery, you don't understand. It smells of fish. I told you top 10. I don't like the smell of fish, man. That fishy, oily smell, yeah.
Of
It's a bit like
paella.
Sparsh's hair. You know, it's just not fun.
Wow, y'all don't have showers here at IBM.
Oh, yeah.
As you just found
All
out,
right, let's-
Ayushi. Because she's sitting next to him.
But
Sparsh,
you-
where do you bathe?
Should we go to the-
Absolutely not. There is no.
Well, let's ask him that. You sleep here overnight, so where do you bathe?
He does sleep here every night, like once in a while, I think.
And then where does he bathe?
I think
Sparsh,
once
how
he
often are
has
you doing
slept
this?
here, I hope.
Once
Once
he's
he
done
has
this,
slept
yeah.
here.
And so you just went
Once
down
you
in the
sleep,
rain,
yeah.
wearing your underwear and came back up.
I
Is it?
went back home and came.
Okay, all right. He doesn't have a mic.
He
so
did go.
This is a stupid podcast. Oh, disclaimer. You knew that. All right. What's the
All right,
next topic?
let's-
Sorry,
Let's go to the
sorry.
AMAs.
Yeah.
Let's go to the
Already?
AMAs.
Already?
We have a lot of AMA questions. Yeah, and it's already 52 minutes in.
52 minutes in.
How did that happen?
Yeah.
Murphy's Law.
All right.
Follow me at Instagram and Twitter on Bored Brocha. I'm so bored. I need your help. I need your love. I need your touch. Okay, just follow me.
Cool. The first question comes from Avranil Paul. He says, "Hello, IBM family." He says, "From Angur, Kaate to Jab Harry Met Sejal, which are Bollywood's best and worst remakes of all time, according to you guys?" And Cyrus, you can't talk about Hello Friends.
Haw.
He just said
Attack.
it.
Because it's neither best or worst. It's right in the middle.
So best,
It lives in
Yeah.
limbo.
best is that Amir Khan Pooja Bhatt movie.
Which one?
The It Happened One Night.
What about Cape Fear, Dar? That was not too bad.
I really like Dawn, the Shah Rukh Khan.
Yeah, Dawn is
Dawn was
quite
not
nice.
a Hollywood remake. It was a Bollywood remake.
But
This
isn't it
is-
inspired by some
Oh, I just said
gangster film,
okay.
American gangster film?
Not
What
sure.
was that movie
I'm
called?
gonna
What was an
Google
Amir
it.
Khan and Pooja Bhatt movie called?
Amir
The
Khan, no.
yeah, the two of them. It was.
Oh, here we go. 15 minutes now. We have to find the damn film.
It won't take
Anybody
long.
out there who can remember the
Dil Hai
Amir
Ki
Khan?
Manta Nahi, was that it? I think
What-
that was
what-
Dil Hai Ki Manta Nahi.
Dil Hai
Okay,
Ki
huh.
Manta
Yeah,
Nahi.
sure. That's one.
But
Yeah.
what is it a remake of,
It's
guys?
It Happened One Night. It's basically the
Oh,
story
I haven't
of
seen
Cary Grant and.
Oh my God. It's an oldie.
this,
Oh,
yeah.
I'd say Badshah's pretty good. Badshah is the kind of
Peter
the remake
Sellers,
of
yeah.
Badshah
Peter
is
three
Sellers,
different Jackie Chan movies.
No, Badshah is a remake
Uh,
of Pink Panther. He's pushed.
So that's
No.
one.
No.
Okay, yeah,
this
sure.
movie,
The
no?
elements from all
He
of
said
from
three
so
different
many.
Peter Sellers movies. This is one
No,
of
he
them.
said Jackie Chan.
Oh, he said
Jackie
Jackie
Chan. Three different
Oh,
Jackie Chan
okay.
movies. It's from which is that? From Russia. There are
This question
moments
has
of
thrown
Russia
us. Now we can't figure out
Russia.
even one. What is
Yeah.
an exact clear copy? Is there an exact clear copy where it's
There's
basically
that. Okay,
frame to
that
frame?
12 Angry Men has that.
Just
Ek
language
Ruka Hua
changes.
Faisla.
Okay.
Uh,
That's,
Oh, there's that
that
Nana.
one.
What's Nana Patekar? The one where the
I can't even
psychiatrist,
find
when De
anything.
Niro plays the psychiatrist,
analyze this.
analyze this. So that was done. That was almost.
That wasn't that. It was not that. It was Falling Down.
Falling Down is
Falling Down is a Michael
Kirk
Douglas
Douglas' son.
movie where he flips out
Yeah,
and
I've
Nana
seen it. I've
Patekar
seen it.
played
So
that.
who does Falling Down?
Nana Patekar was in one of Falling Down. Oh,
That's
God.
Who do you call?
Oh God. We are half
Would you call Koi
information.
Mil
This is
Gaya
very
remake?
difficult to
Would you
answer.
call Koi Mil Gaya? Is Koi Mil Gaya? Would that be considered a remake?
No,
No.
I would say it's a marriage proposal. I mean, if you're asking me.
All right.
We failed.
So we tried,
We
guys.
failed. We
How
tried.
many- sorry, we
There's a
tried.
time out.
So
bro.
that, yeah,
You
we're
can't-
not-
Not easy to kind of figure this out.
Coach is calling us to the sidelines. You gotta
How
work.
many movies have been based
yeah.
on The Godfather? I can think of two.
Oh.
There was Feroz Khan Dharmatma,
Is it?
and that was
Nayakan,
straight
the original
Godfather.
Nayakan with
That wasn't really a
Kamal Haasan.
Godfather movie. That was more Scarface than Godfather, but
Is
it
it?
was a nicer Scarface compared to the
I like
Al
Nayakan.
Pacino character.
And then the Vinod Khanna made that one.
That one, yeah.
That wasn't too bad also.
That was good too.
Yeah.
Which was that? There was.
Ghazni was a decent copy.
Yeah,
Voice in
Ghazni
the
was
Sun.
decent.
Oh yeah, Ghazni Memento.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't bad.
So they
Memento.
Yeah.
Actually, even Gulam on the waterfront.
really?
Yeah.
Gulam is on the waterfront.
Is that a
Gulam's on the
copy?
waterfront.
Oh.
Gulam is a copy.
Gulam is
uh,
Amir Khan, no?
Yeah, Gulam.
Yeah,
With
yeah.
Rajat Kapoor in a
With,
prominent role.
Rani Mukherjee.
Rani.
My God,
That
Marlon Brando.
Khandala.
Amir
Khandala
Khan.
song, man,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
Khandala song is Gulam.
Yeah,
It's Gulam.
Yeah, Aati Kya Khandala.
What
is
are you
from there.
saying?
Yeah.
it's on the
Even
the waterfront.
I know this.
I mean, I sort of remember, but can't remember everything. It's
That's
too much
true,
work.
that's
too much work
true.
for this old
Did you
man.
guys see the trailer of Lal Singh Chaddha? I think that's why the question has come up because
What
Forrest
is
Gump
Lal
remake
Singh
is just
Chaddha?
about.
Oh God,
It's
really?
the Forrest
Wait, one
Gump.
second. Lal
Yeah,
Singh
Amir Khan,
Chaddha is Forrest Gump.
See, I grew up with the Chaddha,
Yeah.
so I understand.
Do you think
all the
you
thinking.
take out a box of Barfi instead of
Yeah.
chocolate?
So it's the Forrest Gump remake.
That's a good
with,
one.
Amir Khan.
Different Barfis.
Life in box of Barfi. What the-
Abbas says Barfi ripped off a bunch
But-
of
But
Chaplin's.
Barfi is you don't get
movie,
Barfi in
yeah.
variety boxes. That's the quote, right? Life
Yeah,
is
yeah,
like a
yeah,
box of
okay.
chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
So then,
Yeah.
but
Barfi,
actually,
you know
but,
you're getting your Barfi.
but India, that's our problem. We do mass of one.
Yeah.
We don't
laddus
write
come
Barfi
in twelve.
necessarily on it. So you don't know when you get a gift if it comes home. You don't know what. Always mithai because I like
No,
only
but
the
You know what?
malai
Cadbury
stuff.
celebrations.
There you go.
That's a mixed pack.
That's a
Rakhi
mixed
special,
box.
all disgusting
And it's
flavors.
desi enough for you, even though Cadbury, but Cadbury is an Indian name now. Yeah.
Cadbury is very much Indian. I
I
think
met a
there's a lot of
Doberman
people
called
who...
Cadbury in Bombay.
I'm not
So if
surprised.
your Doberman's called Cadbury, I'm saying that's desi enough for me.
Nice.
That's
I
true.
think Cadbury was also the name of Artemis Fowl's butler, if I'm not
No,
mistaken.
Dennis the Menace, no? It's one
Was
of
it
those.
Dennis Menace?
Cadbury,
Yes,
yes,
it
I
is.
think Artemis was Butler. I think
Butler was called Cadbury, no? I think
Yeah.
it was.
Holly
Artemis
was
Butler
the-
This podcast is so filled with
Easy.
misinformation,
So
half
sorry.
information. Ayushi is removed. What are you doing? You're doing
I
headbanging.
sneezed.
Oh, I thought you heavy metal playing in the background or something.
Just in my
Def
ear.
Leppard or some shit happening which we are not, akin to. Next question, we give up.
Yes. Next one comes in from Bruce Wayne, who says AMA for Cyrus and Amit. Why do Indians
Ayushi.
have an obsession?
I'm out. I'm out.
Oh,
My
rude.
Ayushi, no. Says why do Indians have an obsession with foreigners and what they think of us and what they think of us? Even NRIs are kept on a pedestal.
It's got something to do
Is
with
it
how
low self-esteem? Is it low self-esteem or has colonialism permanently modified our DNA?
Yeah, so firstly, someone
Yeah.
like Amit can't answer this question because he's sort of Americanized with a half American accent, which is genuine. But if you notice, we always put on the accent, or a lot of us put on the accent of the person, and whoever they are. It could be South African, a bad South African comes out, and that tells you something. There's some inadequacy in the
that's not an
personality.
Indian thing. That's called code switching. It's a
Yeah.
psychological
Yeah.
concept that everybody does.
Exactly.
Not
And you do
everybody, but-
no, you
Everybody.
do
Every
it to
single
make
person
the
does
other
it.
I had a
person
friend
feel
from
more
Yorkshire.
comfortable.
Couldn't understand a word he said. He never even tried.
But he would probably try to talk to you in an Indian accent, which makes
no, he
it even
didn't.
more
He couldn't
understandable.
understand a word he was saying.
Everybody
But
does it.
he's right. This is the thing. It's a sociological phenomenon. You do it to make the other person feel more comfortable.
So, what is your answer then for the Indian?
Well, it's
low
not for me,
self-esteem?
isn't it?
I
The
don't think
question is
that's
not for
not
me.
for you.
Okay. No, but I don't think it applies. Honestly, I don't think it's true. And I think that.
There is a bit of foreign worshipping. All of us do.
Yeah,
that.
but I mean, like,
We have a
I don't
Highly
know that it
influenced.
is a.
We are like the internet before the
Okay,
internet. India
alright.
was open. Urban India was open to everything from abroad.
Yeah, no,
We took
that's
it all
fair.
in.
That's right.
We have a colonial hangover. It's definitely
And beyond
there.
colonial.
Is it a
Other
colonial
cultures,
hangover?
Other
Is
cultures.
it more of a approval seeking? Is it
I'm
more?
saying that we allow people to come into us. We allow that. We are porous.
But
in
we're
that
still
sense.
we still keep fighting for the seat at a table that, first of all, the
Yeah.
table in itself has expanded. It has changed. The definition of the table has changed. And frankly, we should be building our own. That's a whole other
Oh God,
parable
you're
under that
sounding right-wing
metaphor.
now. You sound like
No,
Zia or
no,
Lucknow.
no, but I'm saying there's another way to build that.
Maze, table nahi hai, maze hai.
No, why
we keep
does
trying
India
to get
need to
it.
work in a like the Quad is interesting, right? In that perspective.
To beat China, they call it the Quad.
No, but I mean, like, no. The idea is that why do you have to work within the confines of what a NATO or a UN is, right? Why
True.
can you not create your own
Absolutely.
organizations.
True. And actually makes more sense politically. The alliances should be more specific because otherwise it's pointless. You
And,
can have
geography
secular
based.
move- yeah.
And geography based. Why should you
And
be aligned with a
need-based. And
movement
need-based.
that's
Our
happening?
needs are the same and those needs are not the same.
Yeah.
Those needs are similar.
But I'd say this, right, when you were talking about, like, looking for foreign approval for things, this is mostly, I think it mostly comes up in a cultural context because I think when it comes to our foreign policy, we really don't. Because otherwise we would not have
Now-
traded with Russia to the
Modern
degree
India
that
has
we
gone,
did.
like she said, is gone.
Always.
It's like a
Non-aligned has
counterpoint.
always been a part,
The counterpoint
right, of
seems...
how...
We've changed our foreign policy considerably in the last 8 years.
And this more
We
aggressive
have.
stance is almost like a complex also.
Yeah, it
Because you're
is.
actually going out of your way to say, I don't want to follow.
Non-aligned has always been a core Indian attribute in terms of how they approach
Nehruji,
foreign policy.
Nehruji.
Yeah.
And
So I don't know that...
Nam.
now Rahulji's
Yeah.
problem is most of his people are non-aligned.
Oh, that is that's good.
Let's take the
Next
next one.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, next one comes in from Versailles Thomas. It's a very cool comment for Amit. He says, at Amit, Anish thing by Anish is a wicked podcast. Thanks. Really liked the 2 episodes so far and looking forward to many more.
I'm
This is
glad.
not a question.
And I just
It's
want to
not.
say,
It's
Yeah,
a-
it's just
It's
one
an
of our new
expression of
podcasts.
admiration.
Yeah, okay.
if you
It's
look
a
at Versailles
promotion of a
Thomas's
podcast.
picture, it looks amazingly like Anish. But I mean, not
It
that
does not.
I'm jealous or
It does not.
I'm
It
just
absolutely
saying,
does not.
putting it out there. Yeah.
Okay. Next question comes in from Deepak Narang, who says, how do you tackle
Hey,
the
one second,
parking
sorry,
mafia?
sorry. Just before you do that, I just want to point out to people at Coke, whatever we said about Pepsi, Coke, etc. Amit is a loyalist to Diet Coke.
that's
And I
true.
think you should sponsor this podcast because, I mean, unnecessarily, it's there all the time. You can't do more brand building than what he's doing.
You get all the product placement.
I mean, I would
You
give
have
it
to
red
see-
and black.
You can't wear that
Yeah,
t-shirt
red and
during
black.
that sponsorship.
No, but the
though.
genuine,
It's like-
it's very rare where the endorsement is genuine.
But
This
you're
is so
wearing the
genuine.
wrong t-shirt while asking for
I'll
the
change the damn
sentence.
t-shirt. They
Yeah,
give us
exactly. We'll
the
change
shirt
it.
goes. Come on, I'll face that way for the rest of the
We
podcast. What's the problem?
get a marker and interchange Pepsi and Coke cup.
It's not a big issue, really.
The
Ayushi.
Pepsi would, the t-shirt would then say, "I don't do Pepsi, I do Coke." And given Cyrus'
Yeah, I do
personality,
Coke
that would
only.
be an
So
So
interesting
believable.
And
Believable.
guys, have you learned nothing from have you learned nothing from Eknath Shinde? It doesn't really matter what you thought before. Come on.
Yeah,
Come on.
correct.
We're all up for sale.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct.
Sorry,
Alright,
you were saying
this
about
one.
parking.
Yes. Deepak Narang has asked, how do you tackle the parking mafia in Bombay who
Now, this is a
charge
Punjabi
exorbitant
surname,
rates
Narang.
to just park on the road?
You're a Punjabi. How can you say Narang?
Narang,
I mean,
it's
this is
Narang.
your home. Even
mean,
this you can't speak properly. Are you Parsi?
It's fine.
Narang.
Deepak
He
Narang.
makes up communities. He makes up villages. I don't know where
Deepak.
this guy is from.
How you don't know your own com?
Yeah. I mean, it's very
What is
common.
this? Are you supposed to know every surname?
Your
that
com is
Punjabi?
important to you, beta. Ah.
Yes.
Hey,
Yes,
Putar,
Mr.
how will
Bharita,
we get you
alright.
shadi later?
How we will
Alright.
get to shadi?
Haven't you, when you're in Punjab, don't you get that? When you're from Delhi
I love-
onwards, when
I-
the languages get mixed, I love
I
it.
just love it. I love going north from Delhi.
pick up words
And you're
which-
just
yeah.
like, what?
But they
Don't
do it
mind.
very fluently. You can't do it.
And they do it
It's
weirdly
fluent.
caringly. You kind of get
Yeah,
swept up in it. You're like, doesn't matter, don't mind.
It's
Everything
like,
is
it's like how Tamil Nadu came up with why this Kolavari D? It just
And it just
actually sounds
worked.
wrong. It worked. Superb. Yeah.
Alright. Yeah, so how do you tackle the parking mafia in Bombay who charge exorbitant rates to just park on the road? I hate
am I
it.
mad? I don't
It's
know
the worst.
whether you guys feel this, but the anxiety I have, even when I'm going to Sakinaka to shoot, is not about the shoot, it's about the
It's
travel
parking.
and the parking.
Parking.
It's this link. Do I have money in the dam? Do I going to fight with that guy? I get parking? I've called Amit 3 times. He knows. After some time, when I didn't have a chauffeur and I was driving myself, he would get the call at 8:30. He knew exactly what the call
Oh,
was
where
about.
is the parking here?
It's negotiable, Ayushi.
There's one parking which I have, and then there are 2 parkings in the basement.
Listen, you gotta give the towny people some preference here.
You can have the basement
We
parking.
are elitist for a reason.
You can have
The basement parking, is the lift. There's a lift taking you to the basement.
And
with
then-
the car.
that even I
wasn't
have.
working. This
Oh,
is
that's the
India.
worst because in the
So
monsoon,
the parking
those
is there,
lifts
but you
are-
can't get into the parking. That's the problem.
Have you had the opposite? In my office building, I have to park in the basement. I have not been able to get the car out
Why?
twice, and once I got stuck inside the
You mean
lift.
the lift stops then?
No. Once I was in the car in the lift, and the lift just stopped.
Okay.
And I was just stuck inside. I was like, oh, this is how I die. This is it.
Yeah.
This is how it goes. Then they finally figured something out and I banged and everything. But twice what's happened is during the monsoon, some of the lift stops working. So then the car is stuck there for the night. And you're like, I guess.
But what if you're in?
Means?
Like you just said, when you're in the car and it stops then.
They had to call the emergency WhatsApp number that was pasted on the thing, but I did not have
Nicely
network.
done. So WhatsApp hai na piche?
I'm like,
WhatsApp.
madam, number. I'm like, network nahi hai. Shoot them in the lift.
Murphy, call fucking Murphy. It's just going out of control.
Banging. It was quite manic in that
man.
moment, but yeah, it
But
happens.
I was a little worried about those underground parkings.
Yeah.
I am
Always
too.
worry about these kind of things. Get suddenly stuck there and there's a technology.
I don't like the lift, and ours is not a one lift parking, it's a two lift parking,
Yeah.
right? So
Oh.
basically, first you have to go down in the main lift, which takes you to the basement level.
And then
we have those, those.
those that
semi-
yeah, got it.
One
Yeah,
kind
like a
of thing.
rig.
like a rig.
Yeah.
That's
So you have to then get onto that, and so that's why.
so Rixy.
Ayushi, 6 runs. You're like Besto. You're hitting the ball out of the park here.
This is
These
why.
are all my jokes for the whole week. I saved them up for this 1 hour.
Don't say that. Don't say that. You've raised the level of this very, very low plunging show. Well done.
No, but this is why I have a driver, because this shit is not.
It's not possible.
It's
Yeah.
impossible.
But who? Drivers only for parking. Who would keep a driver otherwise?
Yeah.
It's really the parking which is the
That's
It
issue.
is.
true. That's true.
Yeah.
You're absolutely
and if you
right.
go to Sakinaka, Marol and Bandupur.
So when
then
you go to
yes.
Sakinaka, you need a driver.
Yeah,
I think Sakinaka.
Then I feel bad for him because
Also,
even he doesn't know how to
Dude,
negotiate.
yesterday I went
We've lost
to,
half our audience. You know
I went
that,
They're
to.
putting it off immediately. Fuck you, Valkeshwar.
No, I went to Malad yesterday or Goregaon or one of those, like the
so bad
Oberoi
you can't
Mall.
remember. Goregaon
No,
is where he
so,
lives.
so it's supposed to be the
Malad and Goregaon,
Yeah, it's supposed to
I
be
get
the
it.
Malad
Blend into each
court,
other.
but it was
It
Goregaon.
actually comes
actually,
like how
Yeah.
Oshiwara
Yeah.
crosses into this thing. Yeah.
But,
Look,
Oshiwara lies about where it is.
no, our problem with Oshiwara is
Oshiwara
when-
makes you think that you're earlier than Andheri.
when,
You're
when we
actually
used to
after
you're
shoot
not.
Andheri.
Potra and Oshiwara, 3 cops would come, vans. And we had to pay all 3 of them because it was like a in no man's land, area of dispute, line of control.
Because even I can't. It's lying. You think you're in
That-
Andheri, you've reached. You're like, I'm there, Lokhandwala, but it's
but
still
when they
not
say Oshiwara on the
Oshiwara.
shop, so you always look at the shop
And-
address. Or shop is saying Oshiwara. You argue with the cop. Ye Andheri nahi hai, whatever. The Jogeshwari nahi hai, but he would still.
Then this Jogeshwari
Worst-
comes out
worst
of there.
area
Yeah, it's
for
just-
parking.
There's no
by the way.
Jogeshwari written there,
That
but
area.
he claims that it's a bifurcation.
And that whole
trifurcation.
area is a cluster F. There's no parking in any of those neighborhoods.
all paid
cities.
parking, and
This is
it's
why I told
never
Amit,
written. There is
we
never
should
a
have
BMC
just
sign.
joined a
saying
BM,
that
an
parking.
MNC and worked up to BKC and no further. But now he's
But the
brought us here.
BKC, but I used to work in BKC in the traffic, and BKC getting
It's
out in the
worse.
evening is
Yeah.
you'll
But you know that 2-hour period. Now
I
I
you
think-
can
see you
avoid that.
running in the streets.
But have you
But
been
like a
to
madman.
BKC since this new bridge has come?
Yeah, so the connector helps getting into BKC.
Yeah, but
It's
even
not
coming
so
out,
much.
no?
That
No?
6:30, 7:30 time is really
No,
bad.
but I've not worked there after the connector.
Yeah.
I used to work pre-connector.
Now she works with us, and as you can see,
As you can
doing a
tell,
fine job.
things
then
are
nobody
going very
lets.
badly for me.
Okay,
All right, next one. This last one comes in from Keith B, who says, this is a nice comment. He says, when is there going to be a physical meetup with all the Cyrus S fans and the hosts?
Oh, shit.
Don't ignore my comments. Third
Amit,
attempt to get your attention.
We have 1,000 episode coming up any moment now next month.
At some point.
So
Yes.
we
At
don't
some
have
point,
plans
yes.
yet. The plans are not.
Well, I mean, like nothing yet. We need to.
But you should do it because there's a lot of people who reach out, and they have like
Yeah.
Discord chats and
Yeah.
stuff for the show, and like there's a
No,
lot
we
of
do
people.
want to do it. The thing is, what do we do as an event, right? We can just all go and hang out someplace.
we
That's
can't find
easy
the right
enough to
brand
do.
ambassador.
But we want to.
You should do mini panels, like
Yeah, we wanna do like a
do
real-
one, like maybe 1.5 hours of like you talking to all the different hosts and like a different setup, and then like a meet and greet.
No,
That's not a bad idea.
Actually, we can do that.
Why
That
do we
would be
hire
good.
her at reduced rates? Why do
No,
we-
no. Every episode, my rate is going up now.
Oh, she's a vendor, a freelancer, right? So you don't have that on your books. You know to pay.
She is
This is
a-
how the
she is a
contractor, contracted labor.
Contracted employee. Fair enough.
Yes.
Sparish is looking very worried. Go check your contractor, bro. I don't know. maybe your Goregaon house is now Amit's. You better check exactly what you. You have no idea what you signed. He's a guitarist. End of the day, as typical, all our producers are something else, right? They aren't technically producers. They're stand-up comedians. They're actors. There's musicians. There's nobody who really wants to produce a show.
But that I think is like this media whole landscape. This is very new
You
for
gotta
me to
survive.
have this second gig kind
Yeah.
of. It's not a gig, let's be honest, but I mean like a second thing. Whereas because I work in a very corporate setup, but you guys, like in general, what I found from meeting all the people on your show, everyone has like 9 different things that they do.
because they have to survive. Ayushi, you've got a job,
One
or
job,
rather you have a
yeah.
business.
No, I know that
Yeah.
sounded
this
stupid.
is actually
I'm just
like
saying.
your no. This is something you do, but it's not going to affect you one way or the other.
Yeah.
Sadly, unlike all the others, there are people who, if we don't put them on the show, don't eat. Yeah. Shreyas, I'm sorry. I didn't know to pick
You were going to
Shreyas has 18 restaurants.
Shreyas can go and eat in his own restaurant.
We counted. Manohar family has 18. 1-8. Not 2, not 5. 18.
He has 18
Not
I thought it was
franchise.
6.
Not franchise.
Vishnu
18
ji
they
ki rasoi, I
own.
think
They
it's
own
called.
18
Yeah.
restaurants.
What are they called?
Vishnu ki
Vishnu
rasoi.
ji ki rasoi.
That's the
Yeah,
main one.
sorry.
There are 3 more
He's-
branches. 3 more
He's
types.
a vegetarian.
No, they're all veg.
Yeah.
The Brahmins at the
pure
end of the
veg,
day,
yeah.
they can't serve.
But very
But
popular.
apparently
yeah.
they have a branch in Dallas and they have a branch in San Francisco and
What?
Yeah.
And looking to expand.
Yeah,
This
yeah, yeah.
pandemic is coming
Exactly.
away. They're looking to expand.
Yeah.
So that's aggressive, positive thinking. Many businesses collapse, and those who are looking to expand too bad.
So what
times.
is this with these comics pretending to be like real abject poverty
They're all
people?
liars. Silvery's owns Powai. He's not suffering.
I know. After this car situation of Silvery's, I don't believe any.
Only
any of
3
it.
people
Yeah.
need this
Yeah,
gig
yeah.
and come to work regularly, religiously. Amit, Cyrus, and Rishi. And Rishi Bichara just comes from Panvel. And these monkeys give us trouble from Khar. It's just so wrong, when you hear these stories. Oh, it's raining. I ran late. You came from Khar. The bugger came from Panvel. He came on time. I mean, how do you
That's
explain
true.
that?
That's. I mean, we're really very horrible.
And Indians make that face now when they make the excuses. Too much traffic. Why do we always do the acting with it?
I
We always
didn't-
sell it.
When
Yeah.
Sparsh asked, I didn't even say sorry.
All this
I said
COVID.
it's rain and traffic. I can't.
You're mean. You didn't make the face. You got to make the face so they feel bad for you. Sparsh, bahut barish hai. You got to make that thing.
I knew that there was no way of controlling this, so I was like, I'm just leaning into it. I'm late. I know Cyrus is going to say something, but I was like, I'm sorry.
But you've never been late, huh?
This is the first time that this much.
I'm telling a woman that.
All right. I think it's perfect time.
Are we done?
Sorry.
Call it.
We're going back to the
Just join. Hi, all.
expertise.
It's late.
Okay.
Wait, Jeffy just joined.
Alright.
Give him one question. Bichara, he's come all the way. Give him
Said
one
hi all.
question.
We just read his first comment.
Yeah,
we already
yeah,
read his
yeah.
first comment.
Yeah.
Okay, if you want to do one more, we can.
Although just joined is basically the story of all those who are still on.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Okay, fast. Last
Alright.
comment.
Yes, sure. This one comes in from Binoy Pillai, who says, as we have seen many podcasters moving to Bluetooth mics and relaxed setups as studios. for
Okay,
example, Andrew
Amit,
shows.
you're on. You're up.
When
for
would
batting.
IVM move to similar relaxed setups with couches?
we can do that whenever we want to. I mean, that's not
No, the
really
relaxed setup is a little different because that's more to do with the furniture. But
I
the
guess,
Bluetooth
yeah.
mics.
Yeah.
The Bluetooth
But
mics
relaxed,
don't work
we are
as well
relaxed
as
enough,
wired
like
mics.
conversation wise.
Yeah, I'm saying that's more a
No, I
technical
guess he
issue about
means
which
like
mic you're
armchair
using because you can make
podcasts,
this
no?
look
Like
relaxed.
just
You can just,
Sorry?
I guess he means more just like sitting on
Yeah,
like
he's talking about the
couches
casual-
and
that-
stuff
that-
like that.
Four of them
I mean,
drinking
that's
alcohol and sitting on a
something.
couch.
That's something that can happen
They drink
generally.
alcohol.
But
All of them. That's the whole beauty of their
no,
podcast.
but see again, the
I would
thing
like
is,
to do that.
the way they do it is a little different in the sense that we try and do it with laptops in front of us, right?
Yeah.
They don't do that. They do a full video setup and stuff like that.
There's a crew.
Yeah,
There's
and
a rig and all.
one of the things that I've realized is that if I'm going to be on a show like today, I didn't have much to say because I made no notes, right? I didn't read any of the stories. I had no notes. I had nothing.
You
right?
spoke throughout the show. I was trying to tell him, kill him sound. What are you talking about?
This
You
trio
dominant
does not want to
personality.
read.
It's not fair.
No, but
Yeah, that makes 3 of us, right?
None
Oh,
of
as of Silvery, except for the Bangalore location, what does he bring to the
He
party?
has
for
read
God's sake?
the title of the article. That's it.
4 jokers. Yeah.
No, but I think I think having a laptop in front of me generally
Helps,
helps when I
yeah.
want to do a podcast. Search for something, look for something. Right now, I wanted to find the name of the movie Dil Manta Hai. Dil Chahta Hai. Dil Hai Ki Manta
Dil hai ki
Nahi.
mangta hai.
Look where we are without the laptop. He can't remember the title. So how are we going to source it? But
This is as
but
relaxed as we can
that's
get.
that's no criticism on poor Rishi here, who does his best to come to the party, but we don't give him enough information. But know what you're saying.
Yeah.
You research it yourself. You're on with your statistics or whatever.
Correct.
Immediately, you can take it forward.
The other way is then you have producers who can basically throw you information. If you look at the Rich Eisen show, you look at
Even Rogan, what's his name, Andy?
Yeah.
Andrew Schultz. They have
Joe
producers, Rogan. They have
Yeah.
producers sitting there who are throwing stuff at them all the
Yeah,
time.
And they're
live.
like-
It's
and-
usually live. He says,
Because
let's
they
take a look at
ask.
it. It's live, right?
Because he
When
asked,
for it,
he'll be like, what was the movie that they
Yeah.
did? And like
So what they
2
do is-
seconds later, they
and
get
if
the
it's not,
answer.
they just carry on talking and then he
Yeah.
introduces it.
Introduces
It's no problem.
it.
Rishi
It's
learn,
fine.
yeah.
But
But
no,
we'll
that's
both
not.
do that.
That
Start getting the Wi-Fi on the bus. This is ridiculous.
But also the difference is also the live streaming and the pre-recording. Scholz is all, there are no live streams of
Yeah,
Andrew
the-
Schultz.
And
everything's
it's longer
edited.
format, so
Yeah,
they can
so
cut.
they
and
have
pre-
they
cut
have the
paste.
freedom, exactly.
Yeah, they cut paste
Exactly,
a lot
that's all,
actually, and they try to take their funnier moments and their slightly more meaningful moments and put it together.
And see, we don't have any.
We don't have substance. We just have moments, if you want to call it loosely, and we do our best. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So Diet Coke,
moments.
if you're listening, we're like a diet show in that sense because we don't have enough substance. Yeah.
No, but I think
Succinct.
prep. In my mind,
Thanks.
prep is a big reason for the setup we have.
Yeah.
I think that most of
But again, you were talking
this
about
show's a
foreign
little-
fetish. This is an example. They want us to be like them. Why can't they be like us? Why can't
Yeah.
Rogan learn from me or Andrew Schultz should learn from me, for God's sake?
That's very true.
That is true.
The Netflix special got cancelled for reasons we can't
they
discuss.
do.
Who's Netflix special?
I don't want to
got
get back into
cancelled?
abortions and gender
Oh,
issues and all
God.
that, but it's all part of his show.
Yeah.
Okay? So, guys, don't look
Andrew
at me.
Schultz's Netflix special. Okay.
No. So basically, he had a Netflix deal, but they were asking him to censor some of his jokes, and he was like, I'm not gonna do that, so I'm gonna not.
It makes sense. He's got the bigger platform. YouTube is the bigger platform.
Yeah.
It would make more
But
money
as
with that.
Silvery said, that's what he kept saying for the last 6 months. Then he backed off while the Netflix deal
But
was
then-
happening, and now he's
2 years actually.
But
yeah.
if Netflix
back.
allows like Chappelle to say whatever he wants, how come they went out? They don't want to extend that to Andrew.
I'm guessing Chappelle is Chappelle and Andrew Schultz is not
Yeah.
Chappelle.
that's
Fair.
mean.
No, I mean Chappelle is considered he's
The
considered the
GOAT.
best. Yeah.
And I think Chappelle just doesn't
Yeah.
care anymore. He's just so big that he'll just
Yeah,
start his own
yeah,
new Netflix or something like that and just it'll stream.
No,
anyway.
if he puts his stuff on YouTube, the numbers would just explode,
Exactly,
right? I
yeah.
mean, I think he's single-handedly carrying one company for sure, just because they have his content. So I mean, it's
And
definitely.
next discussions, Pete Davidson quits SNL. That's a very sad moment for Silvery.
He was
He
not the
quit a
only
long
one, no.
time
3 or
ago,
4 people
but
quit
there
this
were
year.
bigger
I
people
just
that
got
quit
that.
at that time.
Kate McKinnon.
Where's my research team?
Michael Che,
Kyle?
I think also is.
Michael Che is also gone.
No, I think Michael Che.
No,
he
I
also
think
quit.
he's.
Yeah.
No,
So
Michael
he
Che is
definitely
still
there was an
on.
announcement, and then he was. I think for this season he walked it back. He had quit last season,
Okay.
and then he walked it back this season. So I don't know if he's supposed to leave at the end of the season of this next season or not. But
Yeah.
There was an
AD, Kate,
announcement.
Kyle, and
A guy
Pete
named
left
after a
together.
sneeze. I mean, think about it. Michael Che. And on
You
that
have to end the show
glorious
now.
note, we
You
stop.
ruined it.
You know,
quit.
the funniest thing Michael Che did was with Scarlett Johansson's husband, right?
Yeah.
He's gay?
Colin Jost. Colin Jost.
Colin
no, no.
Jost. Yeah, they do the.
They do the Christmas joke switch.
Each other's jokes.
Each other's
Yeah, the
jokes.
jokes
Each
switch.
other's jokes.
Swap.
Switch
Yeah,
the
yeah.
jokes.
And
yeah.
they
Very
make
funny,
them all
very, very
read them.
funny.
It's very
Hey,
good.
Silvery, we should try that,
Yeah.
but not jokes because we have one joke each.
No, because then Cyrus, we will all get cancelled if we say your jokes.
Okay,
Yes.
Samapti
Alright.
ka samay.
Okay.
Ji, namaste,
Says
namaste.
Sparsh. I suppose
Have a good
that's. I think he's trying to tell us to stop talking. Sounds like my parents, man. Nothing's changed years later. Young kid coming and saying, shut up. Okay, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.
Okay, bye.
Okay, catch us on any of the podcasting apps, please. We beg you, we need you. Send us your questions on Twitter on Cyrus Says In. Or you can email us, even if you're not female, on whatcyrussays@gmail.com.